We will start the session in the next 2 minutes. From you all, anyone from Indian Academy? Anyone from Indian Academy? Yes. Okay, so Pujita, you are from Indian Academy. Okay, dear. A very good afternoon to all of you. So welcome back to today's session of learning session, right? Isn't it? Are we all are doing virtual learning. You know, this virtual learning, a few years back, good afternoon. Few years back, when the pandemic was not there, everything was normal. There was one belief that virtually we cannot work, virtually offices cannot run, virtually productivity cannot be there, virtually efficiency cannot be there, virtually team cannot be managed. But in last 1.5 years, we have seen that everything is possible virtually, whether it's a team management, whether it's productivity, it's working culture, working environment. Yes, we all can do virtually. Even if I talk about learning, was your learning stop? I agree. There are some practical sessions, the interaction part, though that was definitely missing, but your learning didn't stop, though everything turned out to be virtual. Same way, virtual, we listen, we hear, and we have a myth about virtual team building, virtual working, is that it's going to be really difficult. But no, if we are going to see the practicality in last 1.5 years, we have seen that the productivity, efficiency, growth, everything has increased. Even in market, we are having a lot of growth opportunities in this virtual environment also. So welcome back to the session of virtual team building and productivity. So in the last session, as we have discussed about what is virtual team building, how it is important, and how virtual team building works. So these were the questions which we have discussed in the last session, that why virtual teams are more productive. So we were just supposed, if I ask you, if you have been asked to work virtually, the productivity increases. What's the reason for being more productive? Any answers which you think that yes, these are the reason due to which I am going to be more productive, or I was more productive, or people are more productive? What reasons comes in your mind? Because see, for me, when I'm saying about my productivity, why my productivity increased, first was the travel time. It was reduced. I was having zero travel time. Second thing was the chit chat time, the interaction time after every 1 hour, 1.5 hour, going for a break. all these things just shortened up. Now, whenever I'm taking a break, it's usually a long break. I'm not getting up for 15-20 minutes after every 1 hour. So that's how the productivity increased. The time which I was spending on my traveling, I was not doing that. Then my productivity increased. Now I'm staying at home, right? I am with my family all the time. So in case if for some work comes around 7:30, 8, or maybe 10 in the late night, then also I am available, right? So this is how the productivity is increasing. Now, if we talk about working remotely, happiness in working remotely, yes. The happiness, the biggest happiness was that now people can spend time with their family, their aged parents, with whom they were not living just because they were being forced to settle down in a three-tier city where their job was there. So now they are back to their hometown. They are back to the place where they have spent their entire childhood. The love is back, their climate, their belongings, their parents, everything is back. Everything is with them. Everyone is with them. So yes, that is making them happy. Our virtual team more productive, that we have already discussed. Yeah, do employee want to return to office? The answer is a combination of both. Some employees, yes, they want to return to the office, and for some, it is they are happy working virtually, working remotely, not virtually, working remotely. There's two different terms. Working virtually means you need to be on your base location, and then you can work virtually. Or second is remote work. You can shift to some other city, some other state where your job location is not there, but you can work from there. So yes, these things are making you happy, and some people who are back to their hometown, who love spending time with their family, don't want to come back. Is working from home good for environment? Yes, definitely very good for environment. Low people traveling, low, very less frequency of transportation. So again, it is a good sign, a good thing for the environment when we are working virtually. Okay, next. Today we are going to discuss about the characteristics of virtual team. The characteristics of virtual team first is trust. Now, is the foundation of any relationship, right? We all agree, whether it's personal relationship, whether it's professional or it's societal, wherever we are going, trust needs to be there. So first characteristics is trust is the foundation of successful relationship. Second, it's more important in building relationship virtually. Now in virtual world, when we are doing everything virtually, trust play a very important role. It is very important for building relationships. See, no one is in front of you. You cannot see what they are doing, what they are thinking, what they are working on, right? We cannot see and listen to all those things. So what we can only do, we can build a trustworthy environment. We can create an environment where all the people, the team member, trust each other, and they come up with the proper solution. How they can trust each other? When the work is being done on time, when they are readily available during the office working hours. Now I'm not saying you that you need to be available 24/7. I'm simply saying that yes, you need to be available during your official working hours. You need to be available that time. If you are available, if you are finishing off your task on time, if you're not exceeding your deadlines, if you are available to help your colleagues whenever they require. So this builds trust in the relationship. Next says, with virtual team, it's important to focus on building trust. Yes, it is very important. Why? Because as I told you, we cannot see anyone. We are not in front of anyone. So for that, it mainly focuses on building trust so that we can work confidently that yes, the other person is playing their part, so let me play our part. What happens in virtual environment is, see, a task which is dependent on others' task, right? For example, Mr. X has to give the final presentation. But for that final presentation, Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, and Mr. D, all four from four different departments have to submit their small presentations, right? Now, if they don't have trust, so what it will happen? The other person will think that he's always delayed, he might not submit, so why should I prepare? I'll do it afterward. This way, on the last day of submission, you will see that hardly one or two departments have submitted their thing, and the Mr. X, he is still not prepare what he's going to do, how he's going to present, when he's going to present. He is not in his team that they are going to give me everything on time. So for avoiding all these kind of things, it's very important to build trust within the team members. Last one, virtual team members can build trust by how they can build trust. They can build trust by demonstrating competence in their responsibilities, integrity in their action, care by developing personal relationship with colleagues, and dependability by following through on commitments. Now, these are the things. If you are committed towards your work, if someone is dependent on you, you are doing the work timely and providing them with the necessary details or the feedback. You have maintained a good relationship with your colleagues. You care about developing personal relationship. It's not just the professional thing you are working on. You care about making some personal relationships with them. You show integrity in your action. You show honesty with the work, and you are fulfilling your responsibilities also. So if you are doing all these things, then yes, in the virtual world, you are trying to create trust within the team members. See, when we are working physically, we used to have a lot of team building exercise. We used to see the person, right? And when we see the person, it is very easy to trust someone and not to trust someone, because we see their body language, gesture, their way of speaking, all these things we see, and then we come to the conclusion that yes, this is a trustworthy person. But in virtual world, we are not seeing that person. We don't know anything about that person. So in that situation, you need to build trust using these measures. Now, second characteristic is attentiveness. See, usually in virtual platform, what happens? We are not turning on the cameras. Our cameras are off all the time. And now what? We don't know whether the other person is listening to you or not. What is he doing behind the screen? We don't know. So here it is very important that you are attentive. How you can check that attentiveness is you can call out the names in between. You can ask them to present their view just to have a check whether they are attentive or not. So it's easy to check out or fly under the radar when working on virtual team. Without the benefit of face-to-face communication, virtual team members have to work extra hard at being attentive through their verbal and electronic interaction. They have to prove themselves that yes, I'm attentive. What happens? No, just 10 people out of 10 people, one was not attentive, right? But the leader is going to think no one is attentive. So he may come up with some clauses, like he may say that from next time you need to we will always have a video call, or he keeps on calling you in between. All these things can happen, right? So for avoiding these things, for proving yourself, you need to be very attentive and present yourself that yes, you are attentive all the time. You are the part of the communication, part of the meeting going on. You're listening everything and understanding everything. So for all those things, you may even come up with the reactions in between, giving some reactions, or you can write it in the chat box your views. So this way you put extra efforts to show that yes, you have been attentive through your verbal or electronic interaction. Electronic interaction as in the reactions, the chat box, and verbal is by speech. Leaders of virtual team have to diligent about encouraging participation, dealing with conflicts, and appropriately rewarding and recognizing team member. Now, here it's a challenge for the team leader to decide about the rewards and recognizing team members. No one is working in front of him. Yes, they are completing their task on time. That is the only basis on which he is going to select one person for the recognition or for rewarding that person. And he is having a very tough time when he has to deal with any kind of conflicts, because handling conflicts on screen, what someone is saying to you, you are all are not together on same platform, right? Gathering them together, asking the questions, someone is speaking something, other also started. So this technology, this virtual team building and this conflict solving becomes a very tough problem for the leaders, but they need to find out a way to deal with these conflicts, and they also have to encourage the participation. You know how they keep on having some team building exercises, some group discussions, or maybe some games. So they need to encourage the participants. When the people will come close, will play together, that is going to bring a bond between them. So for all those reasons, they need to have they need to increase the participation by encouraging them to participate, and by dealing positively and proactively to solve the conflicts. Last one, last characteristics of virtual team building is communication. Body language adds extra terminus context to communication, with some studies suggesting it compromises more than 55% of the message transmitted, and this is actually true. When we are communicating, when we are talking, when we are presenting, not just our words, our body language. Now, in body language, our facial expression, our body movement, our hand gestures, our eye contact, the way of speaking, these all things play a very important role for the other person to understand the message which he or the other person is trying to communicate. So yes, 55% of the message is being transmitted using the body language. You might have seen many people who simply don't speak, they just nod their head for yes or no. You might have come across people who use more of body language, positive gestures they show when it's the deal is on from their side. So these gestures are not visible when we are dealing online. One more drawback: you were listening, all of a sudden the network went, you're back in just fraction of seconds, maybe 2 3 maybe 5 to 10 seconds you're back, but during that 5 to 10 seconds what the person communicated you don't know. And to understand the entire meaning, you will add some perception, your own perception, your own thinking, your own words to build the entire complete message, which may not be communicated by the speaker. So these are the problems we face when we are working virtually. Second is virtual team miss out on that. Yes, we are missing out these body language, eye contact, then your way of presenting, your gestures, your movements, all these things we are missing. Virtual team members have to work diligently on their tone of communication, written or verbal. Yes, the only thing which is here by using which we understand the communication thing more properly, that is your tone. When you are raising your tone, the use of annotations, the use of your voice modulation, use of pauses, use of speech variation, these all things make your message more effective while you are communicating. So when we are working virtually, you all have to work on the tone you are using. For example, if you are being very soft in the virtual environment, maybe due to connectivity issue or maybe due to the mic being too far from you, you won't be able to explain yourself clearly, or the other person who's listening to you may not get the exact meaning. Some words might be cutting in between. So for that, you need to have the right tone which you are going to use to communicate, and learn to be more perspective of the emotional content of the message being communicated. Now, if there is some emotional message which we are communicating, our tone should match that thing. We cannot just send and use any kind of tone to communicate. So it should be situational. It should be based on basis of the situation which you are facing. So you have to work on your voice modulation, the tone of your communication when you are working in the virtual environment, because your face, your body is not visible. They're not going to make the assumption seeing your body language. They are going to understand the thing, listening to the sound, listening to the tone you will be using. These are the three characteristics of virtual team building. Now we are going to talk about the advantages of virtual team building. What do you think? What are the advantages according to you of the virtual team building? What do you think? What are the advantages?
Like traveling time is reduced. That is one thing.
Yes,
We can
traveling.
save so much time. You have already told it.
Yes,
Then I have already told this point in previous class also. I don't know in this session or not, that we only focus on the subject we are discussing on. No other things are discussed over there. We only focus on that particular subject. So more work is done.
yes. So it is like the meetings are subject oriented, specific to the agenda, what is going on, not no other things are being the part of the meeting, right?
Yes, everything is kept in professional, very professional.
Perfect. Yes. So both the things which Sushmita told is perfectly right. So let's discuss. It saves resources. Now, when I'm talking about resources, so it is saving our time, it is saving our money, it is saving our energy. All these things are being saved. So when a team is working virtually from the comfort of the home, one saves the cost of electricity, the cost of computer, cost of internet. When we are working in the organization, they need to have very strong internet connection, right? There also we need internet connection. At home also we need the same, but now when we are not working there, so they are saving on their internet. Other admin services and facilities, they are saving on that also. Even they are saving on the catering facility, the canteen facility, which we used to have when we were in the organization. So all these things they are saving. So in short, the resources are being saved, and not just small. The small amount accumulates to very big amount when it comes to saving the resources.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Now one
also
might be thinking,
building rental cost.
yes, yes. It is very silly when you say no, they are going to save so many things. They'll have very cost effective, like virtual team are cost effective. But usually what people think is how much they are going to save. What they're saying, they are saving on computer, canteen, admin charges, or maybe the iCard. Now we don't require iCard, right? So iCard, or maybe some stationery, the sitting chairs, tables, internet. The list is very long. So they say that on these things, how much they are going to save. But if you are really going to calculate the amount, you will see a very big amount which they have actually saved. And when you are going to combine the amount saved by all different organizations, you will see that how much they have saved when the people are working virtually. I just came across one company. For that company, what I heard was, in an hour there used to be almost 100 cabs running from different location of that city. Almost 100 cabs. And now see, when people are working from home, maybe 5 to 6 cabs might be running for them, for whom it is very important to go to the office, right? So this is the way how much they are actually saving when we are working virtually. Second is wide availability of talent. Now it has given us the opportunity to hire the talent from one tier and two tier cities. We can hire the people who couldn't go out, though they were talented, but couldn't go out because they were having resources. Whatever is the reason, but now they can hire the talent, and not just hiring the best talent. Along with that, they can save their expense also, because now they won't have to pay the salaries which are going to be too high. Why? because they always pay the salary on basis of the location they are going, right? And when they'll be on their base location, they'll be saving lot of amount. So same, the company will also save a lot of amount. So if you are not bound by an organization to uh, go with one geographic location, then you can look for the talent from too many different small places which are full of talented people. One can get excellent talent around the world, and the cost effectiveness resources and earn profit will also increase. Why? Because we'll be getting talent at somewhat lower price than what we used to get earlier when we used to ask them to relocate to a new location. Here, that one time cost of relocation, that is also not there, right? Because they don't have to pay for relocation. They're not asking you to relocate. So this way, we are having wide availability of talent also, low artisan rate. Now, when they will have good work-life balance and satisfaction towards their work, higher level of satisfaction makes the employee to stay in the organization for a longer duration. They stay there, they don't want to switch from one company to another company, and they are in a company for a very long duration. So this way they are going to have low attrition rate, people will be quitting less. And if less people are quitting, the cost which we incur to hire the new employees, then the cost which we incur on training them, the cost which we incur them to train them in the specific field for which the other person has already left, then the time which we will be giving that person to make him understand what the other person did in past, all these things are saved. And a person is working in the organization for maybe say for 5 to 6 years, then for 5 to 6 years that position is full, you don't have to search for talent for that position. Even when you hire a new person on the same position, maybe the cost you will be bearing is going to be much more higher than what you were paying earlier, right? So all these things are also going to be saved when the attrition rate is going to be low. Fourth says avoid wastage of time. So company, they have to look for talent, and it is a waste of time because continuously when people are continuously switching from one job to another, they have to continuously look on for the talent. They, till the time they train, they are staying for 6 months, 4 months they have taken to get completely trained. Now they are trained in all the fields, they're staying for 6 months and they are again leave. So again you have to go with the complete process. So companies rather than just team have too many unnecessary meetings when they are in the company, right? That is, first point was the attrition rate is going to be low, so again and again hiring will not be there. Second reason how we can avoid wastage of time is what Sushmita told, that in companies whenever the meeting used to be there, their meetings used to stretch for very longer duration. But now it is not so. Now the meeting starts with the agenda, they discuss the point, they get to the discussion, they come with the conclusion, decision making, and they then just simply end the meeting. So this way they are using the resources properly, the time properly, and they are saving lot of time. The meetings in the physical offices, which used to be the unnecessary long meetings, they used to waste precious time, and it used to eat lot of time from the entire day. And it used to be we were working from 9 to 5, but actually we are going to see they were hardly working for 4 to 5 hours. Rest of the time either they were out with their group, with their team, or they were in the unnecessary discussions. All these things are saved. So virtually team discussions are precise and work very fast. So they are saving a lot of time. Next is reduces cost of traveling, as told by Sushmita, that the traveling time is saved, along with that traveling cost is also saved. Everyone is tired of traffic, pollution, bad weather, stucking in the traffic for longer duration, traveling by train, bus in hot summers, and in heavy traffic. We get so frustrated, we get so pissed off. that half of our energy is already gone in the morning hours by the time we reach the office. So when the energy comes down, when the energy level is very low, so when we reach the office, we just take half an hour, 1 hour to get back the energy to settle down, and then we start working. So ideally, somewhere we are wasting the time due to that. And along with that, the cost is also there. When we are traveling, we have to pay the cost for that. Either we or the organization, someone has to pay. So by working virtually, we are saving a good amount on the cost also, on the traveling cost also, and it is also saving the time, money, as well as our energy. Next is increased productivity. Often faced with distractions from gossips, unnecessary discussions, comments, office politics, all these things reduces our productivity. These distractions are ruled out when we are working virtually. No office politics take part. Office politics is there, but if you don't want to be a part of discussion, you can simply quit. Why? Because you won't be a part of that meeting. Meeting is done, the things are done. Now it's just some random casual discussion going on. You can simply quit and you can focus on your productivity. So these things, these distractions are not there. What used to happen? A person getting bored, what should I do? He's not feeling like working. So he used to go to the other person and he used to talk to that person. Now the other person, Mr. X, who was getting bored, and Mr. Y, who was actually working, just because Mr. X came to him, he started talking, he took him out for the tea, has simply wasted half an hour. Though he was not having the plan to get up at that point of time. His plan was to complete the task, finish it off, and get it done by some time, like somewhere around 2:30 or 3 o'clock before the tea. But this is how his productivity got affected because his colleague, his subordinate just came and he couldn't say no to that person. So these distractions, these politics, these gossips, all these things are ruled out when we are working in the virtual environment. And the last advantage is 24 by 7 work possible. Now you'll say, ma'am, how 24 by 7 people will sleep in the night? So 24 by 7 work is possible as in when we are hiring people from different geographical location, irrespective of the country only. If you are hiring some talent from other countries, then when it is day for us, we are working. When it is day for them, it's night for us, they are working. So ideally, our organization, our office is working around the clock, 24 by 7, all 365 days. We are working, working, and working. There might be situation when we are having holiday in India, but in other country that is not in holiday. So that way we are working for entire 365 days. If the company hires virtual team from different countries, different zones, then they will work for complete 24 by 7, and therein giving a huge boost to the company, to the organization, and to give help them to achieve the goals more successfully. For example, there is some urgent project and it's Diwali time going on. So we all know that in India, Diwali is a very big festival. So if Diwali is approaching, we might be busy, but for USA, it's not so. It's not a very big festival. So they can work during that time and make the company progress. The growth, the work is not going to stop because we are having a festival. So this is how when we are hiring talent from different location, when we are hiring talent from different geographical from different zones, from different time zone, it makes possible for us to work 24 by 7 around the clock, 365 days a year. Any doubts related to advantages of virtual team building or characteristics of virtual team building? Any
No,
doubts?
ma'am.
No. Anyone else?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So in the last session, I just asked you once if you have been given the opportunity to work virtually. So I think few of you just said that yes, we are okay to work virtually. What are your views regarding the hybrid model, the model which is going on, where working from office and working virtually, both are combined together? A part of the week you will be working from office and part of the week you will be working from home. What do you think? What is more beneficial? Complete physical, complete virtual, or a mixture of both? That is the hybrid model. Which model do you think is more successful?
Ma'am, I think the mixture of both sounds really good.
Which model is going to be more successful? Why?
Ma'am, when we work every day, sometimes only twice a week, weekend is not enough for everyone. Not holiday is not enough for everyone, and it's very limited time we get to spend with our friends and family. So I think that is not a bad idea. Also, every day, like you are traveling every day, 5 days a week, you are traveling. Maybe for that you will travel only for 2 to 3 days. You will be more energized, and you can also save money. We all can if it happens actually.
Okay, so this you have told that if we are going to go for complete virtual world, virtual working, so all these things you will achieve. What is the benefit of going for hybrid model? Why to
ma'am
bear the cost for 2 days also?
ma'am, I am talking about hybrid model. Is I'm talking about hybrid one.
So hybrid model you have given the benefit like we'll be saving on cost, so that means
Yeah,
virtual
maybe it is of two
and
days But when we will also travel to the office, we will make bonding with our
yes,
colleagues, and then
yes,
also this interaction is very important,
yes.
and we are
Now
feeling
you
this a
have
lot
got
nowadays. And
now you
also
have
we
got
reduce
that
health issues.
mixture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hybrid one is I support the hybrid one.
Okay,
Both ways, I think it's good.
yes, hybrid model is definitely good because maybe for 3 days you can focus on productivity and 2 days you can focus on discussions, building bonds, coming up with some productive things, grooming yourself, your personal growth. Because if you are completely working virtually, your growth is stopped. We grow when we interact with people, when we learn from people. There is no learning, there is no competition. This competition again plays a very important role when we want to grow. So there is no competition, no interaction. Mentally also will get disturbed. Even for from health perspective, it is not good to work from home for uh, every time. It's not good. You'll be sitting for longer duration. When you're working from home, you're sitting for a longer duration. But when you go to office, you keep on getting up from your place after 1 hour, maybe after 1.5 hours. So the longer sitting is not there. So health is also one of the reasons why we need to go out. Second is staying at home always is, somewhere you'll feel that this atmosphere is not giving me productivity. So sometimes when you're going to office, the environment will change. You will have some new people, you'll have some new productive information sharing. It is not necessary that it should be related to the organization only. It can be for something others also, like it can be political, it can be the recent things going on around the world, anything. But yes, this is going to increase your knowledge, this is going to help you grow as an individual also. So yes, the combined model, the hybrid model is definitely more important, more better, rather than just being going to physical office or the virtual one. Okay, so with
Yes,
that,
ma'am. People can also do some part-time jobs on those days if they want to
yes, right,
for
right,
earning more.
right, we can do that thing. Okay, so with this we have finished this first session of virtual team building. Now we'll see you at 3:20 with our next session of anger management, controlling the anger. Right? We'll see you at 3:20. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.